Oh, I gotta look into the camera. Hey, what's up? I'm just gonna put this at the start of the video. I made this video with the intention of kind of talking about my experience of owning a Kemper for the last 6 months. I do a little bit of rambling here and there. I tried to cut out a bunch of the crap and focus it, but I'm not great at talking to a camera. So please bear with it. I'm still learning, and you kind of have to do it to get better. So yeah, enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on? My name is Cory Bergeron. You are watching Cory Bergeron Recordings. I'm here in sunny Los Angeles. I just finished up working on a tune with the Beatles featuring the Walmart Yodel Kid. So hopefully when that comes out, it saves rock and roll and people start buying compact discs again. Today I've decided to create a video documenting my experience with the Kemper Profiler amp. This is not a demonstration video. This is going to be me talking about the value that I see in it. For those out there that don't know what a Kemper Profiler amp is, very simply put, think of it like a guitar amplifier, cabinet, pedal, plus effects simulator with the built-in functionality of being able to profile an amplifier. Very simply put, meaning if you have a real guitar amp, you are able to capture a digital profile of it and then kind of keep it stored in here. So let's go to the beginning of when I decided to purchase this unit. I've owned this particular unit for 6 months. Prior to owning it, I had no hands-on experience with it. I've only heard demonstrations online from a handful of reputable people. I know quite a few people that own them, and they all had positive things to say about it, and I've also toured with a couple bands that use this live. This unit, on the website, it's called Head. That's all it is. It does not have the power amp built in, so by itself, as it stands, I can't run it through a cab. I just plug directly out. I use a cab simulation that's built into it, and I run it directly into Pro Tools. It came loaded with what felt like hundreds of preset profiles. Some were usable, some not so much. Soon after, I discovered the Rig Manager. The Rig Manager is an application that lets you communicate with your Kemper via your computer. Within the application, there's something called the Rig Exchange. This is what makes the Kemper invaluable to me. The Rig Exchange is basically a server where other Kemper users are able to upload their profiles, and other users are able to instantly download them. When you upload a profile, you're able to add details of what you use to capture the profile, and there is a crowd rating system that makes it super easy to weed out the bad profiles. After I discovered the Rig Exchange, I deleted all the preset profiles that came stock on the Kemper and quickly started searching up amplifiers that I've used in the past, amplifiers that I've always wanted to use, and I found profiles of all of them. I even found a profile of the amplifier that I use in my band, which is an old PV VTM 120. I think the amp was made in the 80s, and I know it wasn't around for a long time. I was pretty surprised that someone made a profile of it. As it stands, this machine right now is loaded strictly with profiles I see myself using in the studio, and that's it. As you know, I record records for a living. I usually record rock-based bands or rock-esque bands. The production demands a modern production, but it still needs to retain the elements of it sounding real or genuine. So let's actually talk about using the Kemper unit in the studio. Normally when I'm working with a band, it's over the course of a week or a couple weeks, so I'm able to book a lockout session, meaning that no one else comes in or out, so we can leave guitar amps set up. In this particular instance, we were working off songs that were pretty close to being finished. The drums were all recorded, the bass was all done, lots of the guitars were done, and some of the vocals were even laid down. What isn't uncommon in the studio is you're kind of writing while you're recording. You might have the general idea of the song down, but maybe all the guitar riffs aren't finished. When you know that you're going to be in this type of environment, it's imperative to have a workflow that allows you to just plug in and play and just be able to hit record, because you never know when someone's going to come up with a good riff, and even better than that, you never know when they're going to come up with a good riff, and by the time it takes you to set everything up, they've already changed it to something that sounds nothing like what it was. So in this particular experience, the advantage of being plugged directly into the Kemper was that when an idea arose, within a matter of minutes we were able to experiment with a couple different sounds and lay it down. For anyone out there wondering if taking this approach led us to cutting corners or not experimenting with every sound possible, looking through the session, I couldn't tell you what was recorded with the Kemper and what wasn't. What I can tell you is that myself and the band are all stoked on the way the guitar sounds. So right there is kind of proof that Doesn't matter, it sounds good. So on that note, I want to squash the argument of does the Kemper sound good or does it sound real? The answer is what appears to be a unanimous yes over the internet. It sounds good. It sounds believable. It feels right. I think what's more important than does it sound real is how recording a client with a Kemper influences the way they're playing. If I'm recording a client with the goal of getting some sort of chaotic, nasty, feedback-filled, energetic performance, I am always going to put them in front of the guitar amp and have it just blasting. That is the appropriate approach to get the desired results. Another common example would be if their performer is hesitant to use the Kemper because they haven't accepted the fact that digital technology will one day overthrow humanity and that the Matrix is real. It probably isn't wise to have them tracking through the Kemper, because if they're not feeling comfortable, they're not going to be able to perform the way that they should be. And there you go, you've just failed as a producer because you haven't put them in a position to lay down what you need them to lay down. On the other hand, if you throw someone into the Kemper and they love the way it sounds, don't think for a second to start trying out different guitar amps. The grass is not greener on the other side. Hit record and just keep the ball rolling. Another quick note that I want to touch on is I've been in the position in the studio tons of times where we're dialing in, let's say, a rhythm distorted guitar tone. So we want this like massive guitar tone. And every song through the album, this is going to be like the biggest guitar tone. So of course you have to turn it up to 10. So everyone's in there, their ears are bleeding. We're listening to this guitar amp and we go, yeah, sounds good, stoked on it. And then you go listen to it through the microphones and you go, it doesn't sound bad, but it's a little this or it's a little that. Your ears are kind of shot because you're just listening to a guitar amp blasting. And you go, okay, how do I address this problem? Do I change the guitar amp? Do I tweak the EQ on the guitar amp? Do I change the gain? Is there too much gain? Is there too little gain? Maybe it's the microphone. Maybe I don't like the combination of the two microphones. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Who knows? What I do know is it's going to take time to troubleshoot. And nothing will take the wind out of the sail. Is that the saying? Wind out of the sails? Nothing will take the wind out of the sails of your session faster than having to troubleshoot something. It's a good way to kill the mood. The ability to turn one knob and instantaneously change amp profiles is a true lifesaver. Puts you in a simple position of, does this sound right? No. Okay, well, change the amp profile. Boom. Once it sounds right, you'll probably have everyone in the room stoked, jumping up and down. And then you just got to hit record. All right, so hopefully that didn't sound like a whole... bunch of nonsense rambling. All right, so that's my personal experience with the Kemper so far. Does it sound good? Absolutely. On top of that, it makes creating easier for me. And if anything can make creating easier or save me time, it has tons of value. When you're working on music, the more you can eliminate obstacles that stop you from doing just that, the easier life is. I hope you learned something. Please subscribe to my channel. We're on the road to 10 million, so I'm hoping to hit that by the end of the week. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Also, if you're looking for a community of attractive, intelligent, audio, like-minded individuals as yourself, I have a production Facebook group and the link will be down below. Join it, join the conversation, and let's talk nerdy audio stuff. And that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.